Hi, and welcome to the Tristan Channel, and today I'll be talking about what I think explains the Juggernaut on LV-426 between the events of Alien Covenant and Alien. In 1979, we first saw Alien, a story that involves Ripley and crew receiving a signal from a planet designated LV-426. They are ordered by the corrupt and powerful company Weyland-Yutani to go to the planet to investigate the signal. Despite only being a salvage vessel with little to no armaments, they are forced via protocol to check it out because they are the only ship in the area. On the planet, they find an alien ship, which we later learn is a ship from a race called the Engineers, later designated the Juggernaut. On this ship, they find a dead pilot and a chamber containing strange eggs. Kane, one of the crewmen who stumble onto these eggs, watches one open, and a parasitic creature jumps out and latches onto his face. After burning through his helmet, this creature was later known as a facehugger. After retreating back to the ship, Kane seems to recover. Yet during lunch time the following day, a creature, later called a chest burster, bursts out of his chest cavity and crawls away. This hatchling then becomes a giant insectoid creature called a xenomorph, which then kills everyone except Ellen Ripley, who manages to kill it. In Aliens, the sequel, Ripley and company Marines return to LV-426 to investigate why colonists now living there have gone missing. Turns out they too found the ship, and the population got infected and overrun by xenomorphs. Again, things go wrong, and the only survivors are Ripley, a girl called Newt, a soldier called Hicks, and an android called Bishop, who, unlike David, is a good guy and is built in the likeness of Bishop Weyland. Possibly because Bishop failed to find the answer to immortality, and according to AVP, the game lived on in his androids, so to speak, even replicating himself into android doppelgangers in order to go on important missions as himself without having to actually risk his own life. Maybe our friendly Bishop in Aliens 2 did also have a secret agenda, as fans speculate. This led to 2 more sequels and 2 prequel films, with doubt on a third prequel that will in theory connect to the first Alien film, which was going to be called Alien Awakening, and explain the Juggernaut. But until such a day, here's my theory. In Alien Covenant, we discover that an android called David created or perfected the xenomorph from an engineer's bioweapon, the black goo. David's creations kill most of the Covenant's away team and escapes with the survivors. Posing as their android, his twin or later model version of him called Walter. We see him then put the survivors in stasis and continues on its mission to Orogai 6 with a ship of colonists to experiment on with his facehugger embryos. But the Juggernaut in Alien was an engineer ship, not an old Earth ship. So what happened? Well, I believe at some point the engineers tracked David down after his attack on one of their planets or possible home world. This engineer probably came from another installation planet, like that in Prometheus. The engineers fight David, and only one survives. David and his xenomorphs. Only one survives. The others probably get killed by Dave's xenomorphs. My thoughts are that the eggs on the Juggernaut's ship were the last of David's experiment, and the engineer stole them onto his ship and crashed somewhere on a barren planet and put a warning beacon on to prevent an outbreak, or maybe even to steal for themselves, or maybe unleash them on Earth as revenge for David's attack. And the warning beacon was just a protocol due to something going wrong and leading to the crash. However, one of the eggs opened during this time and the pilot got infected during this, hence his death. Because the Juggernaut had eggs, not vials, of goo, or because, as David likes to dispose of things, maybe he was trying to use a Juggernaut because he blew up the colony ship so his test subjects couldn't escape his experiments on Orogai 6. Also, I'd like to say, the reason why I think the original alien look, like it had a human skull under its cranium cap, is because I reckon it's because it came from a human host, and therefore an echo of its host body, as it were. Now back to the Juggernaut. Until we get another film, which would be useful, albeit doubtful, as I said, I believe the Juggernaut was an engineer's failed attempt to sabotage or steal David's work that went wrong and led to its death and crash. Some say the queen we see in Aliens is what burst out of the engineer and hid to later reveal itself after the eggs took the colonists. It's interesting because David transmits his work, etc., to the company at the end of Covenant. This then implicates the fact that Weyland Company, or how Weyland knew about it before the events of Alien and why they wanted to get hold of it. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And that if you liked my video, hit the like, and if you haven't, then please subscribe, because it'll be great to have you here. So until next time, take care and be well.